9 by the Senator for Makueni. I hope it will not suffer the same fate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I had asked the CS Cabinet Secretary, could the Cabinet Secretary provide an update on the status of the construction of Thwake Dam in Makueni County and explain why construction works have stalled? And B, what measures has the government put in place to ensure the timely completion of the dam, and could the Cabinet Secretary give timeline? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now respond.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you, honorable members. Honorable Speaker, two questions from the honorable member. I'll give first a background on Thwake Dam in Makueni. The government of Kenya and African Development Bank, through the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, is implementing Thwake Multipurpose Dam project. The program involves phase 1 of construction of the 80-meter high multipurpose dam with a storage capacity of 688 million meter cubic and associated preliminary works needed to enable implementation of phase 1, phase 3, and phase 4 of the program, which involves water supply, hydropower generation, and irrigation development, respectively. The dam is a flagship project under Vision 2030, Medium-Term Plan 2023-2027, and the Better Services Delivery Roadmap. The implementation of the program is geared towards realization of universal access to water and sanitation and food security in accordance with Article 43B, C, and D of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, the completion of Thwake Dam construction and implementation of downstream components is critical in the realization of the semi-arid eastern region, economic viability through the harnessing of runoff during the rains, and the release of waters for various uses in Makueni and Kitui counties, among the water supply of around 150,000 meter cubic to 1.3 million people, including water supply to Konza Techno City in Machakos County, generation of 20 megawatts hydropower to boost water supply and distribution. The supply water from the dam for irrigation of around 100,000 acres downstream of the dam. Areas to be served include Wote Town, Mavindeni, Kalawa, Kathonzweni sub-county, sub-urban centers in Makueni, Kanyagi, Kalulini, Dongoni, Kisiani, Kwavonza sub-urban centers in Kitui County, and provide backwater supply to Konza Techno City in Machakos County with a cumulative distribution lines of approximately 800 kilometers. The sanitation services will benefit over 10,000 people in towns of Wote and Kibwezi in Makueni County with a trunk sewer line of 445 kilometers. Honorable Speaker, to respond to question number 1 on the status of construction of Thwake Dam in Makueni, the construction of the 80.5 high Thwake multipurpose dam with a capacity of 688 storage capacity is ongoing, with civil works on dam construction at around 94.2% completion level. The embankment dam filling, which is one of key components of the dam, is recorded at 99%, achieving the required level of elevation of 916 meters above sea level. The last layer was placed on 18th June 2024. The spillway progress stands at 94%, and the upstream and downstream coffer dams are completed and operational. This being a rock-filled dam structure, a period of 6 to 9 months was required from the last placement on 18th June 2024 to allow the dam embankment to settle and stabilize before the concrete face slab works are carried out as recommended by the World Dam Safety Panel of Experts, which was achieved at the end of January 2025. The remaining works are on the concrete face slab placement, which is the plaster, the spillway bridge, and hydromechanical equipment installation. The construction period was expected to end on 7th December 2024, The anticipated completion date of the dam could not be realized because of for the following reasons. There was delays in works progress because of an increase in dam height from 77.5 meters to 80.5 meter to increase storage. Weak foundation of the dam at the riverbed, which was discovered during construction, necessitating excessive excavation and special treatment. There was the pandemic, COVID-19, and Ukraine issues that resulted in scaling down of labor force and lack of explosives in the country. Then there was adequate time required to allow the dam embankment to settle before the concrete slab is done. Honorable Speaker, the increase in dam height and weak foundation at the riverbed section of the dam necessitated additional works, resulting to changes in the cost of the dam construction, which requires additional financing to complete the remaining works. The National Treasury, through the letter reference number TNT/RMD/01-237/01/01F8, dated 15th November 2024, sought for additional financing from Africa Development Bank to enable completion of the remaining works on the dam construction. The African Development Bank is currently undertaking an appraisal to determine the level of additional financing required. On question number 2, timelines for completion of the construction works on the Thwake Dam. Honorable Speaker, the remaining dam construction works are on the concrete face, slab placement, spillway bridge, and hydro-mechanical equipment installation. These works were due to commence once the dam embankment settlement rate of 5 millimeter per month and below has been achieved, as advised and adopted by the Dam Safety Panel of Experts. The Ministry and the Dam Supervision Consultant, in consultation with the Dam Panel of Experts, has been monitoring the settlement level of embankment over the last 7 months, that is from July 2024 to January 2025, based on the adopted and recommended rate of 5 millimeter per month and below threshold. Honorable Speaker, as of 30th January 2025, all settlement recordings for the critical section of the dam embankment and reduced to below 5 millimeter per month threshold and stabilized, ready to commence phase slab construction. The contractor has therefore been instructed via letter reference number 5083077/2024 and NEK/13-293 dated 20th February 2025 to immediately commence execution of the remaining works on the concrete face slab placement, spillway bridge, and hydro-mechanical equipment installation. The contractor is required to ensure all remaining dam construction works are completed by 30th October 2025. The contractor has submitted a program of works on the same, which is currently being evaluated to this effect. Honorable Speaker, I submit.
Honorable Senator for Makueni, you may now ask your supplementary questions.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I've got, although there has been an attempt to answer the question, Mr. Speaker, I have asked in A, why the construction works have stalled. Mr. Speaker, we've been told about the war in Ukraine. I have not seen the nexus, and I can confirm, as having been a member for Makueni constituency, that during the COVID times, the works never stopped at all, Mr. Speaker. What happened then was that there was, the people who are working there never left. They were constrained to that particular place and never interacted with other people. And therefore, COVID-19 and war in Ukraine, and even the so-called explosives, because I doubt whether we were exporting any explosive from Ukraine, that really ever stalled the work. Mr. Speaker, this dam has stopped completely, and everybody sent away in the last 1 year or so, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I have not heard the reason as to why the dam has stalled. On B, I have asked on timelines, Mr. Speaker. I have not, in all the previous years and the other cabinet secretaries, they have said we are ending in 4 years. They have said the dam will be done on such and such a date. I have not had such a day. And although the the contractor has been instructed to complete the dam. I would like to ask the Cabinet Secretary whether they have made payments to the contractor up to date, because I'm aware the contractor, having not been paid, completely ran out of funds and, in fact, to my own knowledge, left the country. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable CS, according to the Honorable Senator, you have not given reasons why the dam has stalled. And second, you have not given the way forward as to when this dam will eventually be completed. Can you proceed to respond, please?
Honorable Speaker, the Thwake multipurpose dam is a rock-filled dam. A rock-filled dam, this will be the biggest dam in this country with a storage capacity of 688 million meter cubic. When you construct such a dam and you are done placing the rock fills, you give the embankment time to do what we call settlement. In that period, Honorable Speaker, when settlement of the wall is taking place, which takes, as I've indicated, takes between 6 and 9 months, you reduce the concrete face. If you do, you place the concrete face without proper settlement of the dam, the concrete face cracks. When the concrete face cracks, you find yourself with a weak dam that is seeping. And the world experts, the World Dam Safety Panel of Experts recommends a period of 6 to 9 months. That responds to the question on why the workforce had reduced in the works. Secondly, the question on the way forward. Payments from Africa Development Bank require no objection. As of last week, I'm informed that we got the no objection from Africa Development Bank. Honorable Speaker, payments of the pending certificates are being processed. Thank you. I submit.
Yes, Senator for Kitui.
Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, I would attempt to even try to educate the CS on this dam. This dam is not just in Makueni. This dam is both in Makueni and in Kitui. In your brief, you left that out. Now you're educated. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, you know, the CS, you say this is the first time here, but just relax, Mr. CS. You're double speaking. Double speaking because on the one hand, you're saying that the ADB, in your response, written response, the ADB is evaluating the financing gap. The second side of your mouth, you're saying the contractor has been instructed by 25th of February to be back on site. Speaker, if my calendar serves me right, we are past the 25th of February. I think this is when? This is 13th, 12th of March. So I expect that the machines are rolling. If the machines are not rolling in Thwake, the Speaker, then again maybe you may also decide again for this question to stand down the CS. Because in his own submission, on the 25th of February, works should have resumed in Thwake Dam. On the 12th of March, if that has not happened, then he should either revise his response or explain what has happened. So, Speaker, lastly, at some point I lent a friend of mine some money, Mr. Speaker, just little money, not a lot of money, some little money. And when I followed them up, they started talking about COVID, this COVID thing, So we had conversations until sometimes last year, then he started talking about, Ukraine, this Ukraine thing. The Speaker, What is the connection between the war in Ukraine and a dam being constructed in Thwake, in Makueni and Kitui counties? The distance from Thwake Dam to Kyiv in Ukraine is 9,177 kilometers. What's the connection? What's the nexus, Mr. Speaker? I submit.
Honorable CS.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you for the question. Yes, the dam will serve Makueni. It will also serve Machakos, and it's also serve Kitui. But the Honorable Member, Honorable Speaker, has asked a question about payment and how is explosives related to dam construction in Kenya. During war, our access for explosives that are required to blast the foundations of this rock bed was not very easily accessible. That slows, Speaker, that slows the progress of works.
Order, honorable senators. You have asked a question. Let the CS respond.
And
Honorable,
the dynamics.
Honorable CS.
Honorable Speaker.
Is it your position that the explosives that are meant for this dam were sourced from Ukraine?
No.
And therefore, because of the war in Ukraine, you couldn't? No.
It's a global market, Honorable Speaker.
So just proceed. Just proceed. Just proceed, honorable.
Honorable Speaker.
What? Let me help you, honorable CS. The question that has been asked by the senator for Kitui is: what is the nexus between the delayed works of this dam and the war in Ukraine? Just explain to the House the nexus between the two. And secondly, you've indicated in your written response that by 25th of February, work ought to have resumed. And the question from the senator is, are the machine now roaring? Because we are on the 12th, we are now on the 12th of March. Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, if I may respond on the question of the nexus between Ukraine war and dam construction. First, Ukraine war affected global economics. So even Kenya is part of the global economics, Honorable Speaker. The question on the letter to instruct the contractor to actually consider with the works is in the anticipation that you would get no objection from African Development Bank, which we actually have gotten. We have some uncommitted funds that we are processing payments. But to finalize this dam, that's where the appraisal comes in. Engineering projects have what we call project appraisal at different stages of execution, because cost can vary. That explains why we need to do an appraisal. It's a normal contractual implementation requirement for us, not only as a ministry, but for any engineering project of this magnitude and size. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.